makes the whole undertaking feel desperate. And outside of his ideas about primarily, I think, wokeness, I don't know. It's just not for me. I know his joke he's got good joke writers who know how to write for his tone. And I've known a couple of those guys. They were comics, and they're good guys. But I can't see past the desperation and what he's willing to do to stay in the conversation.
Damn. Hey, I'm just saying once again, Bill Maher is done. Everyone sees the writing on the wall. Bill Maher, if you're watching this, you need to read the room. You need to read the room. Get your flowers while you still can. Don't be like Hulk Hogan. Okay, just drive your career to the ground. Just trying to stay relevant. You are done. Hey, thank you for clicking this video. Just to let you know, this is a clip from my previous live stream that I did. Just want to let you know I go live every Sunday through Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And if you don't know what time that is, go ahead and Google that so you can meet me and have a conversation on my next stream. Once again, I appreciate you clicking this video. Now let's enjoy the video. I done said it a million times, okay? And I don't want to act like I hate Bill Maher. I mean, I don't. I really despise him. Okay, because it takes a different kind of person to sit on a fence when it comes to something as important as politics. And I know some people don't care about politics or, blah, blah, whatever the case is. But I wish I could take this quote. I got this from Phil DeFranco, so I can't steal this one. But he said, you may not F with politics, but politics will F with you. So politics in the conversation is important, okay? And we're living in a time in 2025, or depending when you're watching this, if you're watching this in the future, hopefully things are better. But hey, not holding my breath, but it is hard to be neutral. It's like either you're for democracy or you're literally for dictatorship. There's no like, oh man, let me stay apolitical. I need to listen to both sides. What other side do you need to listen to from the people who want the United States to turn into a dictatorship? No. What do you need to listen to from a fascist? Nothing. I'm sorry. There's no hearing the other side when it comes to something as important like that. You can't do it. So when it comes to Bill Maher, I know he is only trying to ride this fence to stay relevant, to stay in the conversation, because he knows if he was to go full MAGA, I mean, he's already quoting their talking points, but him to go full MAGA, he's going to lose his job. He's going to lose his sponsorships, and he's going to be a regular old guy. So he's not willing to go that far. But of course, he doesn't have the balls, the cojones, the huevos. He doesn't have the spine to be a progressive, to stand on business. He ain't got feet. He ain't got 10 toes to stand on business. So he can't even fathom what it feels like to be us, to be folks who can see reality and stand on it. He ain't got it like that. So he finds comfort sitting in the middle. And in my opinion, sitting in the middle, being neutral, is worse than being a MAGA supporter. At least when I'm talking to a MAGA supporter or a Trump supporter or a conservative, I at least know they believe in something. Even though it might be dead wrong in what they believe in or based on white supremacist talking points, at least they chose a side. But someone sitting in the middle, you're lukewarm. You're soft as rice. You're literally worthless, useless. Like when you put food in the microwave and it's lukewarm, what do? You don't eat your food in lukewarm water. No, you spit it out. It is worthless. And that is Bill Maher, in my opinion. Now, once again, he's probably a great guy, but when it comes to politics, we don't need that lukewarmness in these conversations. So, once again, this guy here, Marc Maron, once again, that seems like a simple last name, but I know I'm butchering that. He's a comedian. I've probably seen him a few times, but don't know his politics until now. And he, in my opinion, after hearing this, and I hope Bill Maher hears this interview that we're going to watch, I hope he either responds or just stop, quit, hang it up, as they would say, and go retire. You need to retire because people notice the BS and they're calling you out. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Reporting live from...
Well, wrong video, of course.
Of podcasting.
All right, so this is right here. And once again, this is Pod Save America. We're not going to watch the entire video because we'll be here for hours. And I forgot, we need this here or YouTube will not be happy. And Pod Save America will try to take my money. So we need these blockers here. Hold on, let me get that off my face. All right, so yeah, we need this for copyright purposes. So once again, don't be in the comics asking the question that I'm answering right here. Okay, all right, let's take a listen.
Narrative.
We seem to have skipped over Gen X in terms of presidents, and there's a sort of a gap in terms of even our representation. We went right from a lot of boomer members of Congress. There's obviously Gen Xers in there, but we went right from the boomers to the millennials as well. Why is it that Gen X hasn't...
I'm glad he apologized.
Right here.
And you feel good about that.
Who else? Let's see. Let's do some more beefs. What do you think about Bill Maher?
I can't do it. I can't, I don't. Tone, I always had a problem with his tone. I think I did politically correct years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
A couple of times maybe.
Yeah.
And I think I did real time maybe once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's when you were dating Ann Coulter at the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a dark time. I tried to help her. She's lost cause. I couldn't do it. There's nothing I could do with all my years of experience in and out of bed that could help her.
Okay.
So, no, I don't know. Like, I feel with Bill that there is this, and it happens with some of the other boomers, there's this desperate chasing of relevance that, changes someone's mind in terms of how they approach what they do, and also kind of makes the whole undertaking feel desperate. Mm-hmm. And outside of his ideas about primarily, I think, wokeness. I don't know. It's just not for me. I know his joke he's got good joke writers who know how to write for his tone. And I've known a couple of those guys. They were comics, and they're good guys. But I can't see past the desperation and what he's willing to do to stay in the conversation.
Damn. Hey, I'm just saying once again, Bill Maher is done. Everyone sees the writing on the wall. Bill Maher, if you're watching this, you need to read the room. You need to read the room. Get your flowers while you still can. Don't be like Hulk Hogan. Okay, just drive your career to the ground. Just trying to stay relevant. You are done. You're not funny. You have no political insight on anything. No, you're done. Just go and smoke weed and just retire. But once again, when it comes to politics, you have nothing to offer. And you sitting here trying to ride the fence, for the sake of not getting Trump supporters upset, because we know that you're weak, you're soft as rice, and you can't handle that type of pressure. So you try not to, rub them off the wrong way. And then you have dumbass perspective like wokeness, DEI. Honestly, if anyone still has those talking points of wokeness being a real thing, you're an idiot. You are a complete idiot. You know nothing about nothing. And that's literally Bill Maher. But for some reason, and he has a large platform. Trust me, if he was just some old guy on TikTok, wouldn't care. But he has such a large audience, which most of them are probably liberals. And that is a problem. We need to clean this political environment from people like Bill Maher. We need to clean it up because they are poisoning. They are muddying the political conversation. And that's why I hate politics. Because of people like Bill Maher, who's worthless in these conversations. All right. So they make a good point in this interview. And once again, it's a pretty good interview, even though Positive America is, as liberal as they come. They have some pretty good conversations throughout this. So let's see, 49. I'm tripping. 49:30. So let me set this up. So when it comes to liberals, they have the facts. They are not Republicans to where they just base everything off of vibes and feelings. If you ask liberals, they know the data, at least for the most part. They understand it, but they suck at solutions. They are complete dog water when it comes to messaging and proposing real solutions to help real people. That's why most of us don't F with them. We can't do lukewarmness. We don't want breadcrumbs. We don't want that. We want the whole loaf of bread. We know America and the government is hiding loaves of bread from us, and we don't want the breadcrumbs no more. That's why Harris lost. So let's go ahead and hear this conversation.
Crazy. Like, what do you even do with that?
I do think I think it gets at something important, which is, I feel like a lot of liberals, and gets to the kind of buzzkill thing, a lot of liberals had convinced themselves that if only we can reach people with the truth. They just don't have the facts. And once they have the facts, we got to get them the facts. We got to make sure the New York Times headlines are accurate, that they capture things correctly. Because if people had the facts, they really knew who Trump was, then they wouldn't do it. But no, a lot of people got behind Trump knowing who he was. And that's a harder, deeper, sadder problem. And I think that is where we're at now. I think the first term was, we just have to reach people to make them understand. Now it's, wait. They did understand. They did this anyway. This is a bigger problem than we realized.
He kind of answers his own point. Like during 2016, I gave people the benefit of the doubt. They wanted an outsider, which is a whole nother conversation, to come into politics and be that disruptor. Be the person to fight for them, which I don't know, once again, what they seen in Trump. But I gave people the benefit of the doubt. Okay, this was your vote. You wanted someone who was not a politician. I get it. You didn't want someone who's a part of the establishment. I get it. And then we seen what happened. But now, in 2024, people still voted for him. Not as much. Look at the data. But people still voted for him, obviously, because he won. And he just said, if we could just get people the facts, if we could just get people the real information. No. I mean, yes and no. People need the facts. People need the data. People need the truth. Yes, of course. But people need more of a reason than Trump is bad. People need a reason to vote for you. Because the people who know the data, who know the facts, obviously ain't voting for, a possible PDF, a convicted felon. Obviously, we're not going to vote for that. But why should I vote for you? And once again, she offered more breadcrumbs, which, once again, breadcrumbs are better than what Trump is doing now. I get it. But some people don't want that. They are tired of voting for breadcrumbs just because the other person is bad. Give us something. We have the facts. We have the data. Now make solutions that we can get behind. And unfortunately, liberals are stuck on stupid. They can't see beyond that. Or they don't want to, because we know they're bought and paid for, obviously. And they don't want to make Republican voters mad. That's why, they're, campaigning with the Cheneys. They're too busy trying to look good for the public. Because they know if they stood on business, it's going to be some backlash. And plus, they're buying paid for. So, so they're not incentivized to give people what they want, the real solutions. So that's where I disagree.
You have to, like you said, have a leader that believes in liberal democracy.
Yeah.
And can speak to why it's good. Even with creating policy that may undermine businesses, maybe creating policy for the benefit of all. You have to somehow re-engage people with the idea that they have a civic responsibility for those who don't have.
And it has to deliver. It has to deliver for people, because I do think
that's definitely got to deliver. But once again, some people don't want lukewarmness, and that's simple. But I mean, once again, I'm just glad I'm not the only person who sees someone like a Bill Maher and say, he's just doing this for attention. He's just trying to stay relevant because his comedic skills are subpar. Okay, they're mediocre. You might get a chuckle out of me, okay? I give you that. But when it comes to politics, just stay out of it. If you're not willing to educate yourself and be honest, that's the least that's all you have to do is educate yourself and be honest with what you see, your perspective. And trust me, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find yourself on the right side of conversations. You're going to find yourself on the right side of history. Just being honest. Yeah. So, hey, there you go.
I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy.